digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Lads, do you know what's? I don't know what's funnier. Tony knows this is coming. He knows this is coming. Lads, I don't know what's funnier. Tottenham Hotspur fighting relegation or West Ham United saying, you know what, we'll join you. West Ham just got smacked 3-0. They hit the post more times than they hit the net. And now suddenly Spurs fans are looking at the thing and like, hold on, are we back? This is the peak Premier League where we lose games, we suffer, we stress. And then West Ham come along like your mate who's doing worse in the exam, so you feel better. Now it's Aston Villa away, a team chasing Europe, and Spurs were chasing survival. Pride and the basic happens at this point. And listen, we're not dead yet. If West Ham can crumble like that, Spurs can go to Villa Park and cause absolute chaos. This isn't a game. This is a relegation survival movie, and we've just been given a second chance. Yes, we have been given a second chance. Yes, West Ham went to Brighton, and of course, Ireland did us proud in Keith Andrews, Kelleher, and Nathan Collins led the mighty Brentford to a 3-0 win. And yes, Tony was chucking everything at his radio, including shoes, socks, and I think that was about it. We won't go any further. But Tony, how are you? Very brave to come on. Very brave to come on, but big up to you, bud. How are you this evening?
I'm very good, mate, as always. And put it this way, I did bring the white flag, but I thought to myself, no, I'm going to follow Dermo's lead. And no, we are not giving up. We are carrying on. I'm following the Dermotron. If the Zerbi and Arteta can do it, so can I, my friend.
Yeah. I am going to read out the Zerbi's first quote. And we are going to talk about the managers and who's probably got who's better at the mind games. Do you know, De Zerbi or Nuno? For me, Nuno's always looked like a garden gnome. I don't know why. He just looks one. You just want to go to the local, you want to go to the local shop where you buy your plants and everything, right? And you just want to buy a garden gnome for your garden. You want a Nuno. Everyone wants a Nuno. I said that to him when he was our manager, Tony, so it's not a you thing. I called him a garden gnome back then, and I stand by it. He does that. Does he look very quick? Does he frustrate you that he's not more vocal on the touchline? He stands there like a garden gnome. All you want to give him is a fishing rod and a cup of tea, and I think he'd be happy as Larry.
Oh, mate, it is frustrating, because you think there should be more from him. You see, a little kind of wave the hand, and maybe a little kind of gesture, but that's really it. There's nothing else much from him. And I suppose maybe you never know, mate. He might do it in the changing room. He's said his piece there, and it's then, you know, as they say, you cross the white line, and it's down to them to do the, you know, the rest of the business. But for me, I'd still want a manager to be a bit more vocal, to kind of inspire the team, and more than anything else than that, us as fans, you want to see that from your manager, you know.
Yeah.
But
I suppose West Ham's like the night out of, what's the name of the film? The Monty Python film. Well,
Life of Brian?
it's only but a scratch. He's got no legs, no arms, and he's still there, and he's still going around in circles.
The Holy Grail,
It's
yeah,
nothing
the
but a
Holy Grail.
scratch.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail. That's Tottenham and West Ham at the moment. We're the night, and West Ham are the one going on. That's only but a scratch. Right, let's welcome a few people then. Big up to your Rhino. He says, big up Dermo, big up Rhino, big up to Simon Cohen as well. Big up Dermo, big up to you, sir, as well. We've got Johnny, Tottenham in, oil legend. I'm not a legend, but thank you. You're very kind. Big up, Boris. We've all got to do is get a win tomorrow and win versus Everton or Leeds, as I don't see West Ham beat Newcastle or Arsenal, especially since Newcastle is one at home. Might kick on now. I will talk about that, and that's going to be really interesting. Big up to Wayne. He says, good evening, folks. Hope you're all well. We're fine. I'm buzzing. Poor old Tony's suffering a little bit. Bless him. Look at him. He looks like a sad puppy. I just want to go and give him a big hug. You know.
I'm just modelling Nuno for you, just to make you feel at home.
Yeah, that's it. See, you make me want to go and buy a garden gnome tomorrow and just have it on my desk. Big up to Paigey. Evening, peeps. Big up, Paigey. Hope you're doing in the background on my phone. Big up to you, Paigey. Thank you. Big up to the mum overlord as well. She's looking at something, but she's looking. Big up to Wayne. Has anyone seen Daniela Stewart? I heard she's buzzing around like a buzzy bee. Well, if she comes in, something might happen. Also, Paige, what's this all looking at? Maybe looking at you, Tony. Maybe you've come in. You've brought in like you're the good-looking fella on the channel. Yeah, I bet you are. I'll pick up. Did I not tell you that Brentford will win? Brentford have better players than us. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, West Ham had the chances today. They really did. Even at 2-0, I wasn't comfortable. The only time I felt comfortable was when you went 3-0 down. But Tony, just very quickly on your players, do you feel that some of them? It's always been said that you got more experience of fighting relegation than we do.
Mm-hmm.
But the likes of, I don't know, Bowen's the only one I've seen working his arse off. Some of Villa as well. But some of them just look like they don't care. Is that a problem you've got with some of your?
I think, I mean, the problem is, as you said, the key thing here is when you look at the experienced players that have actually dealt with that, we haven't really got many of them left. And
No.
Listening to what I've seen from some other West Ham channels, by all accounts, when you look at the Hydrula, and to everyone else in the chat as well, obviously, by all accounts, Bowen and Somerville didn't have the greatest game today. But then I think if you look at it, you know, when you think you've got Nuno and you've got new players in, so that as much as the club knows how to handle relegation and obviously trying to claw its way back up again, you've got to question some of the players in there as well, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, considering from January, we've kind of seemed to kind of turn things around and you know, got to where we are, clawed points back, etc. It's these final games is where you find out, you know, if they've got the cojones or not. Yeah. And this is the thing that's going to come to end. And this is what I think me and you have already spoken behind the scenes on this one. As much as, you know, you can enjoy this result today because obviously it gives you guys hope, as you see in the thumbnail I put on my show. It's the fact of, can both teams now do that final mount to get there and get it over the line?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I know probably not in your lot, but I've had a few people in streams I've done before, and they reckon it could be, and I think it might be you as well, Demo, say it could be down to a 1 point that kind of seals the fate of one of the clubs.
I've said that already. I've been on this channel and I've got it clipped. I think that we'll stay up by a point. It will be a point. And look, if we don't win tomorrow, then it all goes to next weekend. And you've got Arsenal. And I just had this gut thing in my stomach today that you'll turn up for that. But you seem to have took Brighton, Brentford, a little bit more leisurely, if you know what I mean. I don't know if it's I don't get it, but I thought you hit the woodwork a couple of times. You had your chances, but you didn't look like you looked like you were playing mid-table and you were safe and there was nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and if you look the way we played against Wolves last weekend, which wasn't a great win, but we got a dirty win. And that's what it's all about down the bottom, is winning.
Mhm.
If you win ugly, great. But yeah, I agree with you. You and me have both said it. I think by the time we get to Chelsea, I think then we're going to know where we are. It might be the game that we need to win to stay up, or it might be a game that if we win, you go down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're always playing before us, apart from the last
Exactly.
game of the season. I don't know. I think that puts more pressure on you than it does on us.
I think so,
I
yeah,
think
because it does that. Because I think you're right in that point, because we have to then step up to the plate. Like today
yeah,
was that, you know, I think, as you said, Evening Frog, it's a mere flesh wound. He's gone. Evening Jess as well. I think if you look at it, if we got something out of this game, then it throws the other way around, doesn't it? Then it becomes pressure on you guys. But when we initially play before you, we have to get it right. And unfortunately, as I've said, this is where Nuno is this is where he lets himself down. With sometimes with the formation, some of the players he chooses to be in with there. And I think the worst part about it was when you look at that, you've got certain players that can do very well. And then we keep on Pablo for 90 minutes a day. And bless him, don't get me wrong, he tries his best. But at the same point, I mean, when he's not exactly a fault. Evening Leslie. Yeah, poor game, but no, fucking awful. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. When you need to have the balls to do it, that's where he kind of lets himself down. Yeah,
I was thinking the other day.
thing.
Yeah, you did today, but I go back through the years of West Ham, right? Yeah, I don't know what came to me today, but I was watching thinking, what would a Julian Dix do in that sort of scenario today? What would a Tony Cottee do? What would other players that have played through the last sort of 10, 15 years or 20 years at West Ham, what would they have done? And I just felt that, look, it's great for us. It gives us a lot. It puts it back in our hands again now. And which is where we really want it to be. But I'm just nervy. I'm nervy. Look, I don't think we're going to go down. You don't think you're going to go down. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? That's the beauty of football. It's the beauty of the Premier League. I think whoever goes down, I think coming up is not going to be as easy as anyone thinks it is.
No.
And
no.
I mean, just very quickly, Karen Brady left your club this week. And there's other bits of, I won't go into it, other bits of stuff going on, boardroom wise.
Yep.
Stuff was put into the media, other stuff that hasn't. Look, for us, yeah, we would take a massive hit, but I think Daniel Levy sort of left us in the financial way. We will take a hit, but the hit won't be so bad. If West Ham were to go down, would the financial hit be harder for you? Are you in a more state than we are?
Well,
I mean, what I'm trying to say, do you need Premier League football more than we do, financial wise?
Well, funny enough, you said about Karen Brady. I mean, that was a remit to stay up. For this season, the remit was stay in the down. West Ham should have had a pen themselves. Yeah,
I agree.
I think if you look at it, it's the fact that her remit was stay in the Premier League for one more season. Yeah, that's the thing. Good evening, Brendan Nelson. Yeah, Hermanson, KWP fans were all relegated last season. It's not very true. Can't be more experienced than that. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I suppose it's knowing our way of doing things, though, Brendan. I mean, them players. That's what I mean by that. It's the club itself are used to relegation. Even though we've done it X amount of times. New players coming in, do they have that same mindset and how they can get themselves out of it? I mean, not being funny, for yourself, Dermo.
Yeah.
Romero wants to go. You got to talk to Van der Ven wants to up sticks. I think even regardless if you go down or stay up. So when you look at things like that, this is the point when you see players for their true colours. will they stick it out and see the and get on with it, or is the case of they're going to die and think, well, easy one for me. I want to get out.
Yeah, of course it is. And you do look at play. Look, Kudos is one player that played for you lot and also playing for us. I mean, where are you on him? Well, a lot of people come into our chat, and especially we're playing Villa tomorrow, which we are going to get onto, by the way, in a minute. We just want to start the show on this segment sort of thing. With Kudos, you've had experience of him. What do you think he would be doing? I know he's out injured, but what do you think he'd be doing in the background? You've got experience of this player, so you know him better than we do. Would he, do you think, be instructing his agent, look, get me out of here? Or do you think if we did go down, he would have the stomach for the championship or the balls to say, do you know what? I'm going to stay around here. I want to prove myself.
I'd say his bag's already packed, mate. If when you think he's basically rejected your medical team and the operation,
that says a lot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Not being funny. When he was looking to sign him, there he is playing for the other team and that, and he's doing all this, showing he's being there. And of course, when he comes to the transfer window this season, it's the case of Spurs was the only club for me, and it's a case of, well, not being funny, you were the only club that came in for him. 2 seasons on the trot now. We put out there his £85 million release clause. No one came in for the first time, and this time you got him for 52 million, whatever it was. So we still made a profit on the play, don't get me wrong, but it's the fact that in itself, Spurs were the only one for me. That players are like that, and no doubt with him, if you do go down, he'll be the first one out. We had it. When was it? Was it 2006 when we got relegated? I remember Glenn Johnson. We've got to stay up and stick together and that to get ourselves back up again. And then he got like a tap on the shoulder. Glenn, yeah, Chelsea want you. Oh, do they? He was gone. He was the first one out the door.
Defoe as well. Defoe, when you went down, what was it? Same thing as well.
No, but I know the thing with Defoe, the only reason why he wanted to get out of West Ham is because he'd never liked Glenn Roeder. And basically,
that's true.
One of my players actually bumped into him in one of the nightclubs that he frequented. And he asked him why he keep on getting sent off. And he just turned and said, I effing hate Roeder, and this is my way out of the club.
Yeah. You can't blame him for that, can you? You can't blame a player for that. You really can't. I mean, I just feel some of these players like Romero, right, this season, his head was turned last summer. His head was fully turned. And to be fair, he's a player I love to hate because there is times he's got us out of trouble, but it's when he gets sent off and he's got yellow card and he's lost the head. He has sort of let us down a wee bit, I think, this season. And then getting injured against Sunderland, which to this day, I still think that the Sunderland player should have been sent off. That's beside the point. That his sort of attitude was, he was crying, but I think he was more crying because he was going to miss the World Cup.
You look
at Xavi.
Yeah.
Xavi wanted to come back on. Xavi wanted to come back on. He's got an ACL. I mean, it shows how stupid our medical department are. They decide, well, we'll give him a bit of spray and we'll get him back on the pitch. Seriously. But still, it's that instinct you want to see from a player. He's willing to come back on, even if he's injured. And to be fair to him, I like that. I like that in a player. I like that. I'm willing to. And that brings me on to De Zerbi's comments yesterday in the press conference, Tony, because he started with this. And I've been speaking to a few people. And to be fair, a lot of people are liking, I want this from my manager because this is how we feel as players, as fans. This is what you want to hear. And I will read it out, okay, and then I'll get you to your thoughts on it. Listen, I want to be clear. One time, the most important challenge now is to silence the voice inside of us, inside of the players, inside of the staff, the fans. This voice produces negative thoughts, and the voice says, we were unlucky. We have too many injuries. We've lost Xavi Simons. He was our last 2 games, one of the most important players for us. Our medical staff is not good enough. Well, that bit is true. The pitch of the stadium is not good. Okay. The pitch of the training ground is not good. It's impossible winning 2 or 3 games in a row because we ain't won a game in 2026. I think it's all negative things and it's rubbish. I want to keep my focus on ourselves and the quality of my players. We go to play against one of the best teams in the moment in the Premier League. I have big respect for Emery as a coach, but if Tottenham win at Villa Park, it's not a miracle. Maybe we lose, but we have a quality to win this game. It's not a miracle. We have to be positive, to feel lucky because we are working in a big club. If Xavi and Solanke are injured, we can play with Kolo Muani and Mateus Tel, Richarlison. I think they are not the worst players. They have different characters, but they are very good players. We have Pedro Porro, Udogi, Mickey van der Ven, Bentancur, Palunia, Gallagher, too. All these things. I don't have too much time to hear these things. And he's right, isn't he, Tony? He is right there. And you want to hear that from, I suppose you want to hear that from Nuno, but if you were a Tottenham fan, I'm sorry to put this on you, right? If you were a spod, right, I'm sorry. Well, if you were, wouldn't you as a fan hearing that, wouldn't that just get you pumped, ready for the game, hearing your manager speak? I want to die on that pitch. That's what you want to hear, isn't it?
I mean, look, it's a good battle cry, isn't it? You know, there's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
I think obviously there's certain parts you could pick out of that as well. I mean, like you said, the medical team for one. We know obviously the pitch apparently could be the cause of some of these injuries you're getting, as well as the training ground, because apparently it's supposed to be the same pitch after all.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's stating the bleeding obvious as well, isn't he? You know, the games you haven't won, players you think that could do the job may not do the job. But I think if you look at it, at the same point, that's his job. You know, he's got to try and do the battle cry now, because he knows at the end of the day, like he's put at the bottom there, I don't have too much time to hear these things. He's only got 4 games to turn it around, and he's coming at the time where it's a big ask on him, and you got a question. He wanted to come in the summertime. If as long as you stayed up, he would have come in the summertime, which I think you already know this. But to try and come, they've obviously, well, I suppose it's the 12 to 14 million pound a year that's probably enticed him to kind of come in early.
I'd say so.
And his job now is to try and rally things. And okay, look, when you got Thomas Frank that didn't do much for you guys, then when you look at why you got Tudor in at the end of the day. That in itself was enough to relegate you.
It was
just having him alone. Yeah,
it was. I tell you why. He does, and you're right in that, Tony. Because when we did appoint Tudor, it wasn't a case of it was a good appointment. It was a bad appointment, because if the owners had any idea of what was happening, should have went, all right, you've just been sacked from Marseille. Here we go. We'll give you what you want. Just come in now. And I think if he came in now, I don't think we'd be where we are now. I think if he came in them 7 games ago, I think we'll be between you and Forest maybe to stay up, or maybe, But I do feel that our owners made an absolute horlicks of it. But I like that from De Zerbi. I like him as a manager. Look, was I happy he came in? A little bit, but there was the Mason Mount thing. Is it Mason Mount? I forget the player. I forget his name. And all that debacle. But he came out, did an interview straight away. I'm putting this to bed now. And that showed me what a character he is. That shows me what a sort of man he is. He's willing to face up to challenges. He's willing to face up to the issues. He's not scared. And that's what you want as a manager, especially in the relegation battle. You want your manager there, walking up and down the touchline, and fun spin. Even if you don't have a manager like that, you want your players doing it on the pitch. So look, we have got Aston Villa tomorrow. We have a very good record against them. I think we're 12 games unbeaten. I think at home when we played at their place in all competitions. What do you think Villa will offer tomorrow to Tottenham? They're in the middle of 2 semi-finals, so. Where do you think, as an outsider looking in, where do you think Villa may, where may Tottenham win, or where do you think Villa may sort of get ahead of us. Where's your thoughts on tomorrow night's game?
I think if you look at it, you've seen it from a few people. I mean, when I was at work today and that, bumped into a couple of Spurs people. So of course they were quick to kind of recognise me and let me know our good fortunes today. But and a lot of them sort of obviously saying, well, they've got the semi-final. He's going to play a weakened side, but we are talking about Emery, and he doesn't exactly give up too easy, does he? At the end of the day,
No.
Yes, he's got the semi-finals, etc. But he's also got a club that's also pushing to get into Champions League football.
Yeah.
So what's he going to risk? This is the thing. Yes, if you do well in that, he's still going to, it's going to be money. Gets to a final. If they lose in there, he's still going to get money because obviously they move. They've done well into that competition.
Yeah.
But more importantly, is for next season. You've also got to consider as well. You're going to no doubt do a bit of rebuilding. Plus the fact they are basically also wanting Champions League. So that's the other thing you've got to look at it like that as well. So I don't think he's going to rest up as much as you think he's going to. Obviously, the only one I think that took an injury was the main one was Onana. So
I think that's a big miss for them.
Mm.
That's a big miss for them tomorrow, by the way, Tony. Onana missing them. I mean, where are you with Ollie Watkins? Ollie Watkins, for me, I think is a good striker. But I think if we can keep Rodgers and Watkins quiet, they are a double act. I think we can win tomorrow. I think we can get at that Villa side because I think maybe the manager, as you say, is not wanting to give any up. But we all know players have funny thoughts in their heads, don't they? Do you know, also with some players with the World Cup coming up, do I really want to put that tackle in? Do I really want to go in? And that's the thing, isn't it? With tomorrow, I just feel that if we could get ahead, I think we win the game. I really do. I think we can. But Emery has this knack of pulling our pants down so many times. Who's the danger man tomorrow for you for Villa? If for us tomorrow, who do you think plays that might stand out tomorrow?
Probably Rodgers and McGinn. I'd say.
I hate McGinn. He's a little freaking git. He is. He really is. Rodgers, I would go. Rodgers is having a great season. But for us, I think, for us, we're not great attacking wise, Tony. And as you know, we've had Xavi out. I like Tommy. You don't beat Villa, just move on. That's confidence. That's great confidence. I like this one as well. Big up the Hangout Cave. Kick Rodgers like we did. Yeah, how did you deal with Aston Villa? Did you just kick Rodgers all over the pitch? Did you? Was that the plan?
He summed it up there basically. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? You've just got to. It's where you've got to fight the fight at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is.
It's one of those. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Frogs put up there. I mean, Brendan made a good comment saying about it. Look at Ipswich. Great result for Ipswich. Back up again straight away. Great result for them to see them do that. Hopefully they've learned. So next season, maybe they'll be the next Sunderland. You never know. But also, I think he's put on there as well. Regardless of result, Brentford, Brighton, Bournemouth, etc. Obviously, are better run clubs than either West Ham or Spurs. And obviously, so much for being a big club, which obviously you get heard so many times, even from your North London compatriots down the road.
Oh, you mean them South London mob?
Yes, the one.
Yeah. Do you know what, Tony? This is a true story, right? North London, right, was a lovely place back in the day. It was full of maidens, full of dancing poles, lovely people going around their business, doing nothing, mind their own business. And then one fateful day, a 3-wheeler van turned up with Arteta and a few players in there, and then that's it. There was maidens up the duff, dancing poles were nicked, and then somebody sold Tottenham Hotspur a dodgy player. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But look, for me, the midfield, Villa's midfield, control and physicality. Tottenham's midfield, can they keep the ball, avoid getting overrun? One game last week, I must admit, a few games we've been really overrun in midfield. If you were De Zerbi tomorrow, who would you put in that midfield three? Would you put a Paulinho as a 6 and then play Bentancur and Archie Gray? Or do you put Palhinha, Gray and Gallagher? What would you do tomorrow if you were De Zerbi? How would you start? Because it's important. I always say it. Games are lost and won and lost in midfield. So what would you do tomorrow if you were De Zerbi tomorrow? How would you set up your midfield?
I think if you look at it, I'd go with the first lot you said there, because if you look at the latter of that, I don't think with Gallagher, he's not exactly been firing for you guys, has he really?
Yeah.
You know, so I'd go with what you said first of all. I think the key thing there, Palhinha, by the looks of it, deserves to start.
Yeah, he does.
You know, I mean, obviously, like, you know, you got the goal for you guys, and it was literally a smash and grab to get that win. But it was one you needed to keep up with us, basically, at that point. But other than that, yeah, I think they'd be the three. If you go for the other, I don't know if you're going to get the same dynamic.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Palhinha. I do. I like him. I can, if we stay up, I hope we sign him, because I think he's like that player that gives you it all. He's a bit like probably Bowen in a way that he gives everything for the shirt. He does. He puts his tackle in. Then you look at Bowen today. I think he was the only one that was trying, and he looked frustrated, by the way, during the game. I think by the end of the game, he looked really frustrated. But the Villa midfield, I mean, I don't want us to get overrun. I get we're away from home, but our away record's always been better than our home record, and that's where my worry is our home record. Leeds at home, Everton at home. Do you know, we've only had 2 wins at home all season. It's our away form that sort of kept us up there. But I just want us to get a midfield tree and stick to it, and just play. Just keep control of that midfield. Don't lose it. If you got to get into a battle, get in the trenches. It's all about survival now. It's all about putting the ball. It's all about getting the ball up to the attackers. But we've got no attackers because we've got so many injuries. So it's about nicking a goal and defending for your lives. What have you thought of Kingsley's sort of return? I'm really pleased for him. I think he had a redemption there against Wolves with that fantastic save at the end of the season. Where are you with him, Tony? I mean, are you glad for him as a football fan? I know this is not easy. You're a West Ham fan, and we're talking about Tottenham Villa, and thank you. I'm really grateful you came on, but where are you on Kingsley? Are you pleased for him as a football fan? Are you happy for him? I'm really pleased for him.
Put it this way, mate. You know, you can think there was a talk in this, you know, in the transfer window that we was going to swap Manson for Kingsley. You know, and that game, obviously, we had a mayor, didn't do him any favours. But it's one of those where you've got to kind of dust yourself down, get back up on that, and also, like, you know, come out fine. And he has kind of done that. And I suppose with Vicario having the operation, etc., he's now got to step up to the mantle kind of thing. I mean, like Manson, when he first came to us, one of the guys in our chat said he's got T-Rex arms because he didn't want to save anything. But yeah, Stephanie. So when you look at something like that, Manson has suddenly overtaken, Areola when he got injured, etc. So when you look at it, he's done that. But there's also a mistake always in Hermansen. So when I look at back at when we were supposed to get Kingsley, you got to think to yourself, did we dodge a bullet by not getting Kingsley at West Ham? But then we've got Hermansen. So, you know, Areola's been okay for us, but he's not exactly been the greatest. And if you look at it, unfortunately, Hermansen has pulled off some great saves as well. But we still need something better at the end of the day. You know, we need to get something that's better between the sticks that's going to stop these things and be more commanding more than anything else, because like everything else, you defend from the front and you've got to hope that everyone else does what they're supposed to do. And unfortunately, if you've got your keeper not kind of pushing them guys what they should be doing, then that's where the goals get leaked in, mistakes are made. You know, there's certain times where we do forget ourselves, and we've conceded a goal where poor man marking has come into it. We're not looking at what's going on in the game, and before you know it, too busy watching the ball and not looking where the player is. and they're
Yeah,
exploiting the space. And we've done that too much this season. That's the thing that's also done us as well. But if it comes down to your keeper's got to be the one that basically that's his as what I always used to say, the 18-yard box is his garden and the 6-yard box is his own. And
yeah.
do you let burglars in? Do you let them come in and nick your furniture? No, you don't. So you want to make sure that everyone in front of you defends themselves to the death to make sure that ball don't go in the back of the net. And unfortunately, this is where both teams have been poor in that respects.
Yeah, we've been really poor. I'd look for me. Vicario has been at fault for a lot of our goals this season. I go back to the Fulham one where he should have cleared it and he didn't. You go back also to his distribution out of the back has been dreadful. It really has. And I feel Kingsky's better with the ball than Vicario is. If I go back to that Wolves goal last week, if Vicario's in goal, that's in the back of the net all day long. I don't think Vicario saves that. I think Kingsky is a far better keeper than a lot of people give him credit for. And to come back for where he was after Atletico Madrid shows character and it shows determination. Now, you're right about Harmson today. I was watching the game, and he looked very nervy. He looked very nervy on the ball. I mean, there was a chance. One ball, he came flying out of the area, headed the ball, but he's left your whole goal empty. Now, Brentford didn't score. They should have scored, but they didn't. But I think it sort of, you win or die with your keepers, don't you? They're the ones that are your last line of defense. And we look at our defense as well, and your defense. And look, there's been a 9-goal swing, and you look at the attacking line of Villa with Watkins and Rodgers and McGinn, and that sort of attacking sort of midfield front two that they have. And Emery's always about pressing and about putting the other players under pressure. We haven't liked that this season. Both clubs, I think, both sets of teams have not done well when the other team has been pressing them. How do you counteract that? How does De Zerbi counteract that? Does he say, right, okay, we're going to press them as well? Or do you sit back, especially away from home? Do you sit back, sit tight for 20 minutes and then go forward? How do you counteract Villa's sort of way to go forward?
I think for you guys, you're compared to us and that, I think you're a bit more attack minded than what we are. When you look at that side of things, it's how you counteract a Villa side, especially if they're in full swing at that point. If you've got Telemans doing well as well, then they are going to bring themselves forward. But at the same point, you want to make sure your aim at the moment is to get points on the board now, especially now we've obviously mucked up today. It's your opportunity now to kind of either get the win that sends us back into the bottom three, or it's a case of, even with a point, we'll still be in front of you at that point as well. So it's that balance, isn't it, at the end of the day? And De Zerbi's got that to deal with. Do you overcommit yourself, and then from there, that allows Villa to exploit that? And if he doesn't change it quickly enough, then they can actually go on to definitely really, pull away from you.
I agree with that. I would take a point tomorrow. We still go above you. If we get a point, we still go above you. So I would take a point tomorrow. The goal difference is a big swing. It's now 9 goals in our favour, which for you losing today.
No, you won't go above us, mate, because obviously we're 2 points ahead of you at the moment.
Oh yeah. Why did I think you would?
See, these things you think of, Dermo. I'll send the abacus to you. Just give me your address. Just send the abacus. I'll send the abacus and that. It's being claret and blue, but don't worry about that. You can get over that.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Oh God, why did I think we'd go ahead of you? So we definitely need to win tomorrow. Yeah, we've got to win.
Who's the referee for tomorrow? Trosh is asking who's the referee for tomorrow.
The referee, I will tell you that now because I have it all here for you guys. I've got all the latest stats, but I will start on that tomorrow. The referee tomorrow is Samuel Barrett. James Mainworthen is the assistant. Wade Smith is the other assistant. Paul Turney is the forward. Oh Jesus, Paul Turney, that man, that's us doomed. And Tony Harrington's on VAR. I am sorry. I want to talk a bit about VAR. So whoever said who's the ref tomorrow, good put me on to that. Was it Toro? Yeah.
Trosh.
Tro,
That's Trosh. Yeah, Trosh.
Josh, yeah, big up to you. But VAR, we've lost 9 points to VAR this season. Tony, does it normally balances itself out, doesn't it, at the end of a season with us, with you lot, and with us as well? But we haven't had a penalty this season. We're not getting the decisions. Where are you on VAR? Because do you feel that big teams are getting more of the rub of the green, but teams down the bottom just not getting anything? Are you finding it? Are West Ham fans finding that VAR's going against them all? Do you think it has balanced itself up?
Interesting you saying that, because obviously looking at today, apparently we should have had a penalty by our accounts, but weren't even looked at by the sounds of it. And even in the Everton game, when you think that you got, unfortunately, you had more Spurs fans and some Everton fans saying about the Fernandes handball should have been a penalty when a player can't see through someone. But when you look what Pickford did to Tatty, and VAR didn't even consider that at all. So when you look at them kind of things, I mean, VAR, in principle, it works. It's just obviously the people who run it, which are no good.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I mean, interestingly, when you think, look at Atletico with Arsenal. Arsenal screaming, it should have been a pen. And
it was
Verdus, the referee, he went over to the screen, he looked at it, and he said, no, not for me. And that just shows you having a bit of common sense. If that was don't get me wrong, if that was in the Premier League, that's being given.
Oh yeah,
our referees unfortunately rely on VAR way too much. That's the problem you've got.
And I agree. I think the European referees are far better than the Premier League referees. But look, I think VAR in itself, in the concept, you're right. It should work, Tony. Right, but as a friend of mine always says to me, VAR is run by a load of monkeys and gorillas. In Europe, it's run by sensible people. But the Premier League, they let the loonies out the asylum, or we let them run it. I mean, it should balance itself out during the season.
It should do. I mean, in front of Jeff's in from the bowling lounge, and he's put there. Apparently, it's okay to take an opponent out if you slip, and that's what they were saying because the player slipped.
Yeah, I get it. It's frustrating, isn't it? And how many points do you think you've lost this season due to bad VAR call? If you were to add it,
we'd have to worry about VAR for us losing points. We can just point a Nuno, mate. Like I said to you, with him, from being a goal scoring position, we've lost 20 points.
Yeah, that's true. We've lost about 9 points, I think, and that. We look at the Arsenal game. We should have had an equaliser. That should never have been chalked off. We should have had penalty. We've never had a penalty at all this season. We're yet to get a penalty, which is absolutely. I don't think any team in Premier League history has gone through a whole season without getting a penalty. And this then boils down. I'll take this off. I will get back to this. This also boils down to it as well, Tony. And about the Man City charges 115 and the Chelsea debacle. And you do look at us fight down the bottom. I mean, surely to God, if you were running you and me are running a company, right? Or a league, you want to make sure that's the best run league in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a great product. It sells around the world. You get billions and billions of pounds. The latest TV, I think, revenue, I think the last ones are sold for over, 200 and something billion for the TV rights for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But they won't deal with an elephant in the room, which is Man City cheating, which is Chelsea cheating, which is VAR's not getting decisions right. Do you find it frustrating as a football fan, not just as a West Ham fan, but as a football fan, that what they're doing is damaging the Premier League anyway? But if we say you go down or we go down, Man City and the first day, the day after the season ends, the Premier League come out, right, Man City have been docked 60 points. as a fan, you're sitting there. Why can you not done that last season? Why do you have to wait this season? Do you think it's more of an establishment that they really want Tottenham to go down because it'd be a great story? I'm not trying to.
I mean,
I'm not trying to sort of
no,
get into
no.
conspiracy theories here, but
Well, look, when you look at the City thing and that, I mean, at the end of the day, and that are we going to get the truth out of that? I don't know, because they've got their, they've got their lawyers, they've got their money, and that they can actually kind of drag the arse out of this if they want to. Our situation, like with the FA and the Premier League, is the fact of it is poorly run. We all know that. I mean, they sell it as the best product in the world, the Premier League. But when you look at it, I mean, for us, Paqueta, the situation with him, how the FA dealt with that kind of thing, and that, that was so badly dealt with. And yet they still wanted to try to, pursue him, even though it was their muck up in the first place.
yeah,
And then look at for instance, look at Leicester. While they was in the Premier League, they didn't dock on the points at that stage. They waited until they went into the Championship, and then they looked to do it. And look where they are now. Don't get me wrong. Okay, the son is nowhere near like his dad, so that's that's a different thing altogether. But for the likes of supposed to be the Premier League, you'd think they talk about due diligence and making sure the club's financially fit and all this stuff. How about you look at your own product first of all before you want to try and tinker with the clubs and tell them to sort themselves out? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And just very quick, I just need to go and get another headphone. But look, on that, just another question on that, Tony. You look at West Ham, you look at your owners, and you look at our owners, and you look at the financial gains that most clubs make in the Premier League, and you look at VAR. So I'll turn it on, knowing that VAR can affect games. Do you feel teams down the bottom get less of the rub of the green because
100%.
to the Premier League, they don't matter? As
We
long
know-
as the
we
top
know ourselves,
four
mate.
do well, as long as the Man
Yeah.
Cities and the Chelseas do well, the West Hams and Tottenham don't really matter because they can be replaced by an Ipswich or a Coventry.
Of course.
So-
when you're down, sorry, man.
No, it's okay. Just so for them, a West Ham going down or a Tottenham going down, that's great news story. That's great for the league. Look, one of the big clubs have gone down. But instead of that, they should be looking at the bigger stories, shouldn't they? But again, it's all corruption, allegedly. But do you think it is, or am I wrong in saying that?
Well, going back on the first part you said there, I mean, we've been there ourselves. When you're down the bottom, nothing goes for you. Nothing. And it's very surprising when you get something overturned that goes in your favour when you're down the bottom. It's always the other way around. And when you look at the top clubs, we know they're always kind of favoured. I mean, not being funny, when you look at Fergie when he was at Man United, they always called it Fergie time because he got to have a couple of more minutes than you think he should have done at that point, and things like that. And the interesting thing at the moment, you got to think, the Premier League have got two things going for it at the moment that's kind of really making it highlight. You've got two teams at the top and you've got two teams at the bottom. One lot could be relegated, one lot could win the Premier League. So for the Premier League, it's fantastic business because they can milk it to death. Sky Sports will have a field day with it, advertising it and stuff like this, especially if it's neck and neck come towards the end of the season. Because all it's going to do for them is pull more punters in. They may get a few more subscribers buying into Sky and stuff like this. TNT will probably get exactly the same thing. And it's one of those, isn't it? But
It is.
they're not really concerned about the likes of Spurs or West Ham, if they survive or not. It's one of those. But when you look at the ownership from both clubs, it's them that's caused the problem in the first place. Like our ones, for instance. I mean, let's look at you guys. You've had several managers over the last couple of years where they've come in, gone out, not been backed, maybe bought the odd one or two players. Whereas, and you look at our situation, we've bought players, and unfortunately, a lot of them have turned out to be shite, and we've spent big money on them for a club like West Ham. And this is where your problems lie. I mean, you know, when you think about it, the three that came up from the Championship, all expected to go down.
Mm.
Leeds and Farker, and that considering Farker, they was going to sack the end of last season, and he was on the verge of getting promoted to the Premier League. And you know, and you look at it, what he's done with that team, and then you've got Sunderland, which no one expected to see where they are, and even there's talks of Labrise being sacked because he might not get him European football. What the hell is that about?
Football gone mad. That is what it is. It's football gone mad. Look, we just want to go through the stats for that tomorrow. Of course, the injury list, of course, doesn't look great, but we do have Savin Simmons out with an ACL, Destiny Yadogi out with a hamstring, and Gianluca Vicario is still not fit, so he's still out with his hernia. We've got Mohamed Kudus. I'm sure Tony would love hearing his name again. Look at him; he's smiling already. He's thinking back to him sitting in the chair at the London Stadium, playing with these bubbles. Still don't get why grown men blow bubbles, but I never will. Sorry. Anyway,
Well, I thought with you, Brendan. Look, forever blowing bubbles. Just
oh
for you,
yeah, oh
Brendan.
bless you.
There you go, Dermo. There you go, Dermo.
You-
I mean,
yeah.
you know.
But you always, when I say that, to be fair to you, you always see the funny side of it. So I know to some West Ham fans that might be what's he talking about, but you always see the banter inside of it. So thanks for that, Tony. Mohamed Kudus out with his thigh, Winston Odegaard out his ACL. Kulu still out with his kneecap. Still haven't found it. He lost it, and then they found it, and then they lost it again, and then they found it. Now they've lost it again. So they're still looking for it. And Ben Davis is still looking for his ankle, apparently. Yeah, our medical team is not the 100 best in the world. And Christian Romero is still looking for his knee. Last we heard, he was hobbling around Hotspur way, looking for a Lego knee. So I don't know, but still looking for it anyway. This is our season so far. Villa were 5th in the league with 17 wins, 7 draws, 10 defeats. Average goals conceded per match, 1. Tottenham are in 18th. 8 wins, 10 draws, 16 defeats.
Where is that again? Sorry, I think microphone,
18.
earphones. Oh, that's
18.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that's about. I can hear it now. Yeah, thank you.
I did say 17th, but no, 18th.
Yeah, that's
And
why I
we
thought
average
the
goals
headphones were a bit funny then at that point.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, my headphones just died, so you're now coming through my main monitor. You're sounding crisp and clear. And average goals conceded per match, 2. So 2-1 to Villa, apparently. By that stat. We have played Villa 61 times for 15 draws. Now, I forgot. I realised I made a cock up. I forgot to change the logo. We're not playing Wolves. We're playing Villa. But 20 wins, 11 home, 9 away. Spurs have had 26 wins against Villa, 15 at home and 11 away. This is Villa's recent games. Not great. Only, 2 defeats in the last 5.
Yeah.
Only wins against West Ham and a win against Sunderland, but they did lose against Fulham and Manchester United, and they did get a 1-1 draw against Nottingham Forest. Tottenham, on the other hand, I never thought I would say this, but I got a green. Yay. Tottenham only 2 defeats in the last 5. We've got a 1-1 draw with Liverpool. We did lose 3-1 to Forest. We did lose 1-0 to Sunderland and De Zerbi's first game. But we did get a 2-2 draw, a sickening 2-2 draw against Brighton. But we did get a win in our last game against Wolves away. And then, do you know what? It may have been ugly, but sometimes you have to win ugly when you're at the bottom.
True.
Last 5 games, of course, not great. We did lose to them 2-1 back in October. They did beat us 2-0 on our way to the Europa League win last 16th of May. But we did beat them 4-1 and 4-0 in that season. We did do the double over Villa that year. But also, we lost 2-1 to them in the 26-23. So whoever that stat I found on football something, you need to go back and look at your stats again, mate, because they're wrong. The referee tomorrow, we're going through that. But yeah, I mean, Tony, you look at the games, right, just very quickly. You look at Villa's games. I mean, they are very in and out at the moment. They did lose to Fulham, they've lost to United, but they've beaten you lot, and they did beat Sunderland 4-3, but they drew against Forest. Forest are Villa, would you say, are very Jekyll and Hyde at the moment, would you say?
They have dropped off a bit. And obviously you could say maybe is that the European campaign that's kind of caused that. That could be one of the things. But who knows? Yeah.
That's made me giggle.
Yeah, because obviously Brendan's saying, yeah, when did all this hair pulling start to be such a thing? Rampant this season, which it is. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, you know. Big up to I'm Titanium as well.
Yeah, big up.
It says here, as long as you lose 3 or 4 tomorrow, I don't care what came before.
You know what? I like this man as well. I met him once in your channel, Tony. Absolute gentleman.
Yeah, just a good one.
See, I think us fans that are fans of our generation, the newer generation don't think they know about banter. But the likes from you and the bowling lounge and people of our sort of generation, we sort of thrive on banter, don't we? And it's all in good fun. I think.
Of course it is.
Do you think that's been lost in the game a little bit? The banter, like you, and me, can have banter and we can sling really funny things at one another, but we don't take any heart to it. You think that's been lost in the game?
I think with the younger generation, yeah, because at the end of the day, they're more used to kind of, you know, seeing skill and all this kind of stuff. Whereas, you know, we've seen kind of raw grit and determination to get through games. And this is where the game obviously advanced in that respects. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's a society thing. And, you know, Trosh has summed it up there. Look at that. Yeah. New generations are too sensitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big up to Chris as well. Yeah. He's put his Millwall and he says, I must be important to log into a Spurs channel. Frank's Pepsi. Look what he's put as well.
Is he a Millwall fan? I take it.
Chris is, yeah, good guy.
I bet you, Chris. I bet you're devastated you didn't get promotion today.
Yeah, that was a bit of a blow, wasn't it?
How funny would it be Millwall going up and Tottenham or West Ham going down?
Well, this is what we've been saying. It has been saying that, but you know, yeah, it's unfortunately they didn't get promoted from the start on that. But yeah, it's Brendan saying there. Hopefully, good luck in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's for me. Look, I love the banter. That's why I do it. I love the banter and I love the fun.
Well, look at Pepsi's comment.
And it's always good fun, but
it is, mate.
I'm going to say,
look at Pepsi's look at Pepsi's comment on me.
Oh, where's Pepsi? Hang on, let me get there. Where's Pepsi?
Must be on. It's better beyond. That's the one.
Doesn't have to worry about. What did you think of Cucurella, by the way? Just very quick before we finish. What did you think of Cook? Do you know what? I swear to God, if you're having hair on the football pitch and it's long, I mean, you're looking for trouble.
Yeah.
You really are looking for trouble. Seriously.
Yeah. And this is the thing. You imagine, you know, Fellaini back in the day and having his hair tugged, what he would have done as well, you know. Andy Carroll for one as well, you know what I mean? Pop, get out of it, Stace. Yeah. They don't pop.
No, I agree with Stacey.
They
I agree
burst.
with her, you know, grown men blowing bubbles and playing with your Barney dinosaur toy and you bring your binoculars. I don't know. Give me Upton Park any day of the week.
Barney's good. He's a nice Barney.
Yeah.
Don't leave Barney
seriously though, your stadium, it needs a rethink, doesn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Does it need knocking down and starting again, or do you think
100%
not a petition to move?
The thing is, when you look at it, actually, because I know a little bit about that, we did have with the council, we actually kind of purchased the ground, but of course, you had Mr. Levy moaning at Haringey Council, you had Mr. Hearn. Well, we're only a mile and a half away. We should be the rightful tenants into the new London Stadium, and then of course, we had Mayor Khan get involved as well, and that killed off what we was going to do to the ground, because we was going to basically raise it to the ground and rebuild it as a football stadium. So because of your chairman, in certain respects, it saved us a fine packet. So we only pay now just over £3 million for the season to the London Stadium. But
yeah,
Mayor Khan might be having a change of heart, because he may talk about maybe us actually kind of purchasing the ground, as if we do. But you know, we've heard all this before and things like that. I mean, Cucurella, I mean, like, as Iron Titanium says, he does me head in, and he's one of those. You either love him or hate him. He's one of those. When he's playing against you, he's a pain in the arse. But you know, if he actually signed for your club, he'll do a job. That's the worst part about it. He's one of those.
Yeah. He didn't take any offence to it, Stacey. I know what's going on. I will fill them in.
I know. I already know. I already know.
Yeah, no, yeah. They're hiding tonight. Where are you? Come out. Where are you? Big up, Tom. Do you know Bubbles? The guy running the protest. He used to be my football coach in Wellington City.
Yeah, Budgie does, but yeah, Budgie knows about the guy as well, kind of thing. So yeah, no, the protest, at least with ours, it's actually kind of interesting enough. Our protests have been better than considering your lot. That's for sure.
Can we not talk about protests? Yeah. Billy, where are you? Billy, when I need you, where are you? No, seriously, I miss our protests. They've tried, but I just think, I don't know if you see it yourself, Tony, that fans sometimes just want to go to a football game. They don't want to get involved with everything happening in the world. But I do believe that I do believe both clubs need massive change, whatever happens.
Yeah.
I do. And look, and let me know, Tom. I used to live in St Albans. Let me know. I think I might know you, bud. I do think I might know you.
So here's a thing to make you laugh, Dermo. I mean, when we're saying about protests. I mean, I remember when Arsenal fans were talking about doing a protest, and I think Curtis Shaw drove from where I think he's up in the Midlands. He drove all the way down there. You had another fellow named, what was he called? Arsenal Alex. Had the camera with him, looking around. I can't see anyone at the moment, and that. He goes, I'm expecting thousands here. And then he looked over to the merch shop, and there they all were. They're outside the merch shop buying gear. So it's like, well done. Great protest.
Yeah, we did a protest, I think, for the Super League. Do you remember all the teams came out for the Super League, right? And Chelsea did one, thousands turned up. Arsenal did one, thousands turned up. Man United did one, got a game abandoned. Liverpool did one, thousands, and other clubs as well, by the way. Tottenham, right, 200 turned up for a protest. But the day of it, I always remember, I was watching Sky Sports News, and it was pissing rain. All I could see was 5 men in a circle dancing with their shoes in the air, right? But that wasn't the best bit. That wasn't the best bit. The best bit was they're all holding merchandise bag in their hands and they're protesting against the board. And I'm thinking,
that's the way you do it.
That's it. That's how you get a protest started. Very quickly, Tony, what's your score prediction for tomorrow for Villa Tottenham? And also, guys, put it in the chat as well.
If Villa are on song and that, then there's a possibility, and if they are switched on, if they get the first goal, I think that's going to be the turning point. And if they do score first, then I possibly see it being a 3-1 result to Villa.
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest here. I am going to be honest, and I think you might be onto something. You're right about the scoreline, but it's to Tottenham. I reckon 3-1 Spurs tomorrow.
I admire your confidence. I always have done.
Yeah, I know that. But listen, let's see what it says. We've got Pepsi going for 5-0 Villa. I am taking them. We were protesting Glazers more than Super League. Well, to be fair, you probably were. Right, but at least thousands turned up. We just 6 men turned up with bags and beers. Looked really funny. Only 2 subs instead of being able to change the half team. 3-1. Says big up to you. 3-1. I say to Villa. It's going to be interesting tomorrow. But I just want to end up this with a little bit of to console. I want to console Tony tonight. I do. I want to send him off feeling somebody's cared about his well-being, about how he's feeling right now after today. So this is from the heart. Right, before we go, can we just take a moment? Yeah. Because somewhere in London right now, West Ham fans are sitting there, staring into space, wondering what just happened. They went out there and did their thing and still managed to hold it out. And the best part, we haven't even kicked a ball yet. That's it. That's the tweet. That's the mood. That's the energy. Spurs fans tonight, feet up, tea in hand, smiling for absolutely no reason because West Ham lose. It's not just like a result, it's a lifestyle. Now, all eyes turn to tomorrow. Tottenham Hotspur, Aston Villa versus Spurs. Can we follow it up? Can we make it a perfect weekend? Or are Spurs about to do the most Spurs thing imaginable? You already know the club doesn't do normal. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you tomorrow for the
Before you
chaos
go
of
though,
the North
before you
for the
go,
Tottenham.
Brendan, one thing I want to ask you, and
Yeah,
obviously the fans, your fans on your chat, the Spurs fans.
yeah.
Now, it was bad enough when I remember seeing West Ham doing Hawaiian West Ham, shirts and shorts. Dun, 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 dun. What is this about Peppa Pig?
Right, I was hoping you weren't going to mention that, but now you have. I mean, come on. I mean, apparently he's done his ACL already. Apparently he's somewhere in the medical department having his knee looked at. She only just walked. Peppa Pig only walked into the stadium, and she already done her ACL. Uh, I mean, Tottenham is just sometimes the gift that just keeps giving. I'm sorry. I mean, who thought somewhere in the board, or who thought somewhere in Tottenham, right, that the idea was, I tell you what, let's put out an announcement. Peppa Pig is joining us. I mean, they could have waited to the summer. But see, I don't know.
Well,
I just
it's
don't
not
know.
going to be your main sponsor, is it? Going to have her face on the top of your shirts, is it?
Do you know what? No, and I could probably
Katie
miss.
Price.
I do like this from Wayne. Peppa Pig is our new head of
Yes.
medical.
Peppa Pig, Katie Price.
Oh, I like this one as well. Brought it says Peppa Pig. She's one of our own.
Peppa Pig is
Oh,
our new head of
knew
our
that was
medical
coming
team
from
from
you. I
Wayne.
just didn't know when, but I knew that was going to come. So I
Full
hope I
swine.
get the full the stream without mentioning
There you
Peppa
go.
Pig.
Look,
Yeah.
Jeff saying, can't wait to see Dermo modelling the Peppa Puckett hat.
Oh, do you want to win West Ham or us?
Oh, good question.
That is a good question. Look, I'm going to be honest here. I'm not going to be one of these hypocrites to say, "Oh, I want Arsenal to win." Look. I'm going to be honest. I hope West Ham smash them because I don't want them to win the league anyway. So if they win the league, it doesn't bother me. It will bother me for one day to see it, but just for the sheer comedy value, and watching Arteta lose his marbles again, and watch a Lego man sort of, try to. I mean, I swear that guy dyes his hair, Tony. You look at him; he does dye his hair. For me, yeah. I hope you beat them. What score you going for?
I must admit, I think I've got more of a draw in mind, but yeah, they've had a good result today. But we have kind of, in a certain respects, got their number, so we may kind of get something out of it. If we get 2-1, it'd be brilliant, and it just upsets the apple cart even more because if City win them 2 games, they've got over them at the moment, then all this celebrating they do at the moment counts to nothing.
Yeah.
That's what
No, I
see.
agree. Well, Tony, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you, bud?
So you can find me on Hammers Football TV. Great community in there, great comments. And as you can see, the people in the chat at the moment definitely got some good comments in there as well. So yeah, thanks for inviting me on Dermo, and it's good to get this. And look, I've got the cojones to come on there even after we get slapped today and that, and it gives you guys a little bit of hope. But as they know, mate, it's the hope that kills you, as they say.
It does hope, and I think that's a good way to end the show. It's the hope that really kills you. But look, we are back tomorrow. Of course, we're back at 12 for the predicted lineup. So join me at 12 for that. And then we're back at 5:30 for the start of the watch along for Villa versus Tottenham. And then at 9 or just after 9, we've got after the whistle. Monday, we've got the predicted play ratings as well. So join us at 4 for that. And then we've got all the build up to the Leeds game. And yes, we are going to get JYS. They are going to come on and talk about Leeds. And well done to Leeds for staying up, by the way, getting survival last night, a good win for them. But it's now down between Tottenham, it's down between West Ham. West Ham tried to ruin our weekend, but they didn't. I tell you what, let's give a little bit back and let's just make West Ham just feel a tiny little bit more nervous. On that bombshell, see you tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs.